And they're off. Racing in the two key lead-up races for this weekend's $1 million Vodafone New Zealand Derby at Ellerslie, and at the top of your screen, the Group 2 Avondale Guineas, a race that has produced 9 of the last 10 New Zealand Derby winners and was so convincingly won this year by the Katrina and Simon Alexandra trained Crique. At the bottom, the rating 65 race on the same day, run over the same 2100 metres and won by the Roger James and Robert Wellwood trained Pinarello. The first thing to note is the rating 65 race is run marginally quicker early, the leaders passing the winning post a lap out in front of the leaders in the Avondale Guineas. But 400 metres into the race, all paid up in the rating 65 race, runs the opening split in 25.57 seconds, whereas Field of Gold reached the same point first in the Avondale Guineas, some 1.77 seconds slower, about 10 lengths behind. At the bottom in the rating 65, Trigon Lad went around to the lead with 1500 metres to run, then slows the tempo appreciably, with commentator Bruce Sherwin remarking, "They're crawling." Pinarello settles 8th, one off the fence underneath Innes. Crucially, he's able to adapt to the slower tempo without over-racing or getting on heels. Another Derby aspirant, SVR, tracks forward 3 wide down the back straight. At the top of the screen with 800 metres to run, Field of Gold has overturned that early 10-length deficit for the Avondale Guineas, but it's at this point things start to change. Marchand is the first to move, improving 3 wide with White Noise tracking him, while RJ's Flight follows the perfect pink off the fence. The leaders quicken in the 65 with 800 metres to run, and Pinarello makes his run 4 wide at the 600 metres, improving nicely into the race. Sweeping past SVR with 300 metres to run and hitting the front 200 metres out. Back to the top, and soon after straightening, Field of Gold makes his play for glory, but it's short-lived as Crique effortlessly improves and hits the front with 250 metres to run. RJ's Flight closes nicely close in, while Marchand and White Noise, who makes his run widest on the track, fight out third. Further back, Regal Lion, Tutakaka and Nesteg run sub-35 second last 600 metre splits to convince connections they are worthy of cracking on to the Derby. From the trailing and settling, Crique clocks the quickest late sectionals of the Guineas, the last 800 metres in 45.96 seconds, the last 634 flat, the last 422.93 and the last 200 in 11.91. From midfield in the 65, Pinarello runs the quickest closing sectionals of the race, the last 845.63 seconds, the last 634.34, the last 422.8 and the last 211.55. Slightly superior than Crique, but in a differently run race. SVR finishes 5 lengths away in 4th and on times around 8 lengths slower than Crique, taking into account him carrying a kilogram more than set weights too. According to Ellerslie's standard times for 2100 metres on a dead 5 track, the winner of both races should have been able to run 2:11.5, and most winners on the day were quicker than par. Crique ran 2:12.72, so just over 7 lengths slower than par in a race in which the first 6 home came from the first 8 positions in running. Pinarello clocked 2:13.47, 4 lengths slower than Crique, but he was eased down and winning by 4.5 lengths, and he did carry 1 kilogram more than he would have under the set weights of the Avondale Guineas. That can be borne out in the tweeted analysis of TAB bookmaker Stephen Hunt and the reply of respected form analyst and race day TAB commentator Bruce Sherwin. So what do we take away from this? If all the horses that ran this day repeat performances to the same level, then Crique will win the Derby by 3 lengths from Pinarello, with another length to RJ's Flight, Marchand and White Noise fighting out third. But it's never as easy as that. The Derby is run over 300 metres further, and then there's track conditions, draws, race tempo, improvement and decline, among other factors to consider. However, when you line everything up, this is still Crique's Derby to lose.